Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations. Hello, hello. It's just going to be a little bit of chit chat. As you know, was it last weekend that I don't know. I think it was last weekend. I got all those cross stitch magazines for free. And I've gone through and I've started marking things that I'd like to make. Will I get all of them made in my lifetime? Probably not, but I wanted to share some of the projects that they spoke to me enough that I wanted to mark the pages so I know where they are. Hi, Ann. So again, these are old magazines. This is from January 1993. And I doubt you'd ever see a magazine for $3.50 an issue anymore. So that tells you from 1993 to now, the price of magazines has about quadrupled, if not more. Isn't that amazing what the difference in, a few years makes? All right, so I'm just going to turn to my markers and kind of just share the projects in these magazines. This one I marked because all these charts are small and I can just do the jumping deer or just do the tree, or, I can pull components out of it to stitch up to have as ephemera. So that's why I marked that one. And now this one, I really like this because it's got a gnome or a elf here, but I thought I could even just stitch just the cat or just the tree or just the teapot. There's a little teapot there. So, and then the little Jack in the Box, that would be cute, stitched up. And then the alphabet, of course, is always useful. All right. Then we'll go to the next one, which is this one. Oh, it says some bunny loves you. And I just think that bunny is so cute and would be a component that I could stitch out and have to add to a stitch project or whatever. So there's that. I'm not going to be on long. And as everybody that's been around for a while knows, I have a Santa collection. And these are meant to be made up and then turned into basically a doll. They've done this on a tablecloth, but they can stand up. So I thought it might be fun to do this one to add to my Santa collection. So that was in the January 1993 issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch. This is Better Homes and Gardens Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. And I was going to look to see if it showed its original price, but it doesn't. So let's go through and see what I've marked. Again, I've marked this one because it's watermelon slices, and those would be nice to have on hand for, a stitching project with a summer theme. I think, let's see here. Oh, and I like these roses stitched up. I probably wouldn't do it on black because I can't see, but I was told by some folks, if you're stitching on black, if you put a light source under it, so I might take like a plastic container and throw one of those flat flashlights in it that you can get at Harbor Freight and create my own light box and see if I can stitch better. I have a cross stitch kit of some cats in a barn loft that I've wanted to do for a long time, but it's on a black background. So that's just a tip I just learned, to create your own light box with a plastic like Tupperware box that you just put a flashlight in. So why didn't I think of that? Anyway, there's that. And then I just like this teddy bear, and I believe the pattern for the clothes is in here as well. Yeah. So you make the teddy bear. See, little tiny teddy bear, and then you can make her clothes. And I thought that was stinking cute. So that's why I marked that one. So all the projects aren't necessarily cross stitch, but most of them, because they are cross stitch magazines. Cole, you just came in, honey. Nobody wants to fight, so just go lay down. This is just cross stitch from August of 1992. Love the butterfly. This butterfly is gorgeous, and I missed one. Oh, and the birds. I think I'd like to do the charts I have for birds and just have them on one wall. You like the teddy or the butterfly? I didn't see when your message popped up. And I am impromptu, and I'm not going to be on long. Let's see, what else have I marked? Let's see. I missed something here. Oh, that's the chart for that butterfly. Now, if I did this on a smaller Ada, let me see what they call for. Well, this is already stitched on a 28 count white Jobelan from Witchelt Imports. And let's see, it'll work up stitch count of 60 stitches high and 101 stitches this way. If I did it on a larger, meaning the squares are larger, the largest would be 14. It's 14 stitches per cube, 14 count. So it's going to be bigger than a 28. A 28 is like thread width, both of them. So if I did this in 14 count, it would end up measuring 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. So that's a fairly big butterfly on a larger Ada. And then it's 4 1/4 by 7 1/4 on a 28 count. How can that be? If the same size, that's odd. So if I follow this chart to make the butterfly as small as I want it, it would work up at 3 3/8 by 5 5/8 on an 18 count Ada. It's using 2 threads, crossing over 2 threads and using 2 strands of floss. Interesting. I'll have to look at that one more closely when I get ready to do it eventually. This is just more of the same butterfly. These are the charts for the birds. And I just love these ants. Look at these. They're picnic ants. He's holding an American flag, but I could change that to be a flag for something else. And then this is a little ant's head with looks like he's got a bandana around his neck. I don't like when they split a chart between 2 pages. Of course, the shaded area shows where they overlap, but still, just put it over here. You didn't need to put it over there. Oh, well. And then that says, did someone say picnic, that you can stitch? And that's all that's in that book. And then this one, I marked these animals. I know I did those. And this little bunny, they did hair barrettes with them, but I thought these 2 bunnies would be really cute. This is like, it's more of an Easter bunny, and this one's for St. Patrick's. It's got 4-leaf clovers or clovers around it. But if you did just the bunny, and don't do the little 4-leaf clovers and stuff, just stitch the bunny. Those could be cute additions to a stitch project. And then these are the animals. And I would do them individually, like just the goat, just the cow, just the pig. What is this? This is a rabbit. So it's a rabbit, a goose, a pig, a goat, and a cow. And it makes me think of that story about Brahms music, but where the donkey and the cow run away and they create a band. Oh, I keep thinking about that story. I need to look it up. Oh, and this was Cross Stitch and Country Craft from 1991. At one time, I had this magazine. I gave all my cross stitch stuff to my sister Hazel. I don't know if she still does cross stitch or not, but she probably got rid of the magazines years ago anyway, when she was going through her divorce. This just cracked me up. So this is something, if you have small children, you could take one of their drawings and just get you some, like, either cross stitch quad ruled graph paper, or just get some quad ruled graph paper and lay it over your children's drawing and then just fill in. It would be a little time consuming, but then you could stitch out one of their drawings if you wanted to. So I just love this idea. But this was a grown woman did this. She's down here. But yeah. Let me see. Decide on the artwork to use. Start with simple designs. Children's drawings are often large. Tape 2 or more sheets of translucent graph paper together if necessary to cover the whole drawing. And then tape drawing to a firm surface. Tape the graph paper over it. Outline your shapes in the drawing onto the graph paper with a pencil. Add detail using a fine point black marker to indicate back stitches, and then color in the solid areas on the chart with colored markers. Add symbols to indicate color. Make a key referring to a floss color card and matching colors on the original design to floss. Record the floss numbers. So that's what they did. And I just love this. So if you've got grandchildren or whatever, that you could stitch some of their art. This does have an adorable rabbit that says spring under it, but that's a big chart. And then the last one that I have marked, I want to do this love one another that's on the cover, because I just think that's a beautiful chart. Here it is, a better image of it. And I would love to do this just to have in my front entry, that whole sign, and just hang it in my front entryway. So that was the only thing I really have marked in here. The blue is just where the chart is, the tab. So that's all I was going to share this morning is the charts I've already marked up with my little tabs. I might go through some more of these and mark some other things, but the blue ones are the ones I'd really like to do. Like, I love that cat. I think that cat, if I did just the cat with maybe move the sunshine over a little bit, I might do that. I'd like to do that as like a pillow. That's what they did with it. Scott doesn't like pillows, but I just think that's hilarious. Anyway, so I'm going to let you guys go. I don't know if Mary's coming on in a bit or not, but I just wanted to share some of the fun graphs that were in these old magazines. I mean, 1991 is, how old is that? That's 91, 2001, 21. It's 24 years old, 23, 24 years old, some of these magazines. 34. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It would be 34, not 24. What am I thinking? What am I like? So, yeah. I didn't think they'd mind me showing the graphs for something that's this old. If they do, I guess I'll get ooh, you shouldn't have shown that, from the YouTube peoples. But if you're just starting out and you don't want to go to the expense of a brand new cross stitch magazine or a kit or anything, check your thrift stores. People turn these magazines in all the time. I don't think Goodwill's a good one to find old magazines. I think they immediately send all magazines to the bins where they get destroyed, where they're thrown around. I got lucky. These had been turned in at the Mennonite thrift store down near where my husband works. And they had actually just said, just take them, because they didn't want to price them or anything. So they were for free. So I just grabbed all the cross stitch magazines. And I was thinking I might, any of the magazines that I go through and I don't find anything, I might get Scott to take them by and just put them back in their free bin, unless we go again, and I'll just take them back. And that way somebody gets some use out of them. All right. Good morning, Teresa. I'm just getting ready to sign off because I'm not sure if Mary's coming on or not, and I don't want to be on when it's her time. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the little charts I want to do, and I will see some of you later. Bye.